Hello everyone, Dallas Johnson here. I want to show you how to apply for your dealer's license on what's known as the dealer portal. This is the Department of Revenue's official dealer website, and it's going to be at mydmv.mo.gov. So I want you to be aware, the Department of Revenue no longer accepts mail-in or walk-in applications. All dealer license applications and renewals must be submitted online at mydmv.mo.gov, which is the website that you see right here. So for dealers, you're not going to click on driver's license services. You're going to click over to the right on motor vehicle services, okay? And that's going to take you right to the dealer section. And there's a lot of great things that we can do here. In fact, you can run your business with an internet connection right from this web page right here. In just a moment, I'm going to show you how to easily apply for your initial dealer's license. And that's the same link you'll hit later on when you're renewing your dealer's license. You are going to be required to do sales reports, and the state no longer accepts paper mailed-in sales reports. You've got to do your sales reports right here on the dealer portal, and I'm going to show you that later on in the course as well. All sales reports must be submitted through mydmv.mo.gov. You can no longer submit paper sales reports like you did in the past. You may become a buy here, pay here dealer, or maybe you already are a buy here, pay here dealer. Well, if that's the case, you need the ability to put a financial claim on a vehicle when someone owes you money on that vehicle, which is what we call a lien. So every dealer in the state of Missouri is legally allowed to file liens on vehicles. So you can do that right through here as well. We'll talk about that later on in the financing section of your course. You've seen those paper temporary license plates flapping all over the place. Most of them are expired. Every one that I see is expired. But you know, with your dealer's license, you can place those on vehicles sold by your dealership, and you can print them up right here. You can also order them through the dealer portal through a company called Custom Point that you see right here. You can also check your application status. So normally, when the state receives your dealer license application, you should be able to get that license back within 6 to 7 days, or maybe you've done a renewal. When they receive it, they want to get that back to you in 6 or 7 days. So if you've applied for your license or renewed your license and you haven't gotten that license back from the state for 6 or 7 days, there is a problem with your dealer application. So you can jump right on here and click on Business License Application Status and type your name in there. And it might say, you know, forgot dealer photo or something like that, okay? But no matter what, when you're applying for your dealer's license at mydmv.mo.gov, you're going to have to scan 6 documents onto your computer, and you're going to upload those documents through the dealer portal. So you're going to need a copy of your dealer garage insurance, a copy of your bond, or your irrevocable letter of credit, whichever one you use, background check for each person on the license. Remember, those background checks have to be less than 30 days old. You're going to have to fill out this form called Law Enforcement Officer Signature Form 5748. And I'll show you that form here just a little bit. That shows the state that you do, in fact, have a building lot and a sign. You've got to have that photograph of your building lot and sign, and also that dealer class certificate of completion when you're applying for your license for the very first time. So we're going to go to mydmv.mo.gov, and we're going to click on that link that says Motor Vehicle Business Licensing. And as you see here, you're going to need to click on the dealer, auction, or manufacturer license, and then scroll down to the bottom. You'll click here to apply for a license. And now you're going to go ahead and complete your business information. I want to spend a little bit of time on this because oftentimes this is completed incorrectly. You won't have a choice really on the date here. It's automatically going to populate unless for some reason you want your license 15 days later. But normally that's going to auto-populate, and most of you are probably wanting to get your license as soon as possible. You're going to need to enter your business name and what you're doing business as. And I want to talk about these. Maybe you're Missouri Motors LLC, and you're opening a business that's called Jefferson City Auto Sales. Well, Missouri Motors LLC would be your business name, but you're doing business as Jefferson City Auto Sales. So remember, that's the name that's on your sign. That's the name that your customers will recognize you as. Your business name and your DBA can be the same. You could just be maybe Missouri Motors doing business as Missouri Motors. That's fine. But if you have like a different corporation name, like an LLC or something like that, you definitely want to put your corporate name there. And always remember your DBA, that's what you're doing business as. That's the name that's on your sign. That's the name that your customers are going to recognize you as. Now, take a look over here. MITS number. You do not need an MITS number if you're only selling motor vehicles, because Missouri dealers normally do not charge sales tax. But with that being said, if you're going to sell parts, tires, mufflers, things like that, you'll need to get a sales tax number. So you will need what's called an MITS number if you're selling parts and tires, transmissions, and things like that. But if you're only selling vehicles, you won't be charging sales tax, so you can just leave that blank. Just below that is your Secretary of State number. This shows the dealer licensing section that your dealership is properly registered with the Missouri Secretary of State. And then you're going to select your ownership type. Maybe you're an LLC or a not-for-profit or corporation, or maybe you're an individual. You would check that. Then you're going to enter your best contact information just below that. And by the way, as a note, obviously you're probably aware of this now, dealers in Missouri no longer need landline telephones, but you do have to submit a phone number, and that can be that cell phone in your pocket. But dealers no longer need landlines, but we do have to have a working phone number. Now, this is where confusion is often made on an application as well. If you're only selling used vehicles, I recommend only checking the used motor vehicle, used power sport box under your operations and your unit types. I go down here and click used MV. So I want to repeat that. If you're selling used vehicles, if you just check these two boxes, you'll legally be able to sell any vehicle that is not new. Now, when you start selecting other boxes, it actually limits in scope what you can sell. So just check those two boxes and you can sell used cars, used trucks, used trailers, motorcycles, scooters, ATVs, pop-up campers, semi-trucks, combines, bulldozers, bobcats, tractors, so if it's used, you'll legally be able to sell that. If you're ever selling something that's brand new, then you have to have a separate license for that, okay? Now, here's another part that becomes confusing. So this is your plate inventory. And no matter how many sales that you estimate, when you're getting your dealer's license for the first time, you'll get a maximum of 2 dealer plates. That's the law, okay? So you can get a maximum of 2 dealer plates. Later on, when you need more plates, you will be able to get those after you've gotten your dealer's license. So once you've gotten your dealer's license and sold 15 vehicles, you can get a 3rd dealer plate. You sold 10 more, you can get a 4th. Sell 10 more, you can get a 5th. So you can order plates later on, and they will mail you plates every single January. But when you're starting out, they'll only mail you a maximum of 2. And they do give you a choice of the size of dealer plates that you want. If you want both of those plates to be the full-size motor vehicle plates, like the one that are on your car that you're driving around, then you would enter 2 next to the motor vehicle. But if you're like me, I always sold a lot of motorcycles, and I needed what looks like a little motorcycle dealer plate, but that's not what they call them. They call that a power sport tag. So maybe you're like me. Maybe you want one motor vehicle and one power sport, and then you're going to choose your main plate. This will be your main plate that just has your dealer number on it. Maybe you want that a motor vehicle plate, or maybe you want it to be a power sport plate, but that's your main dealer plate. That's just going to have your dealer number. Your subsequent plates will have your dealer number, then like dash A or dash AB, depending on the year. So that's your plate order right there. And then you're also going to scroll down here on this screen, and you'll leave the marine inventories blank unless you are going to be a boat dealer or a marine dealer. And the state does allow you to sell up to 5 marine vessels with your motor vehicle power sport license. But if you want to sell 6 or more, then you will have to become a boat dealer as well. And down there at the bottom, you're going to see your prorated fee, depending on the month that you're applying for your license. It'll all be automated, where if you remember in the past, when we applied for a license, we basically had to figure out what to write that check or money order for. So now it's all automated, and you can just pay those fees correctly every single time. You will need to choose your business hours. Missouri dealers are required to open at least 4 days a week, at least 20 hours per week. And Missouri motor vehicle dealers are required to remain closed on Sundays. Now, if you've got a neighboring business, you can open that business, but you can never have motor vehicle sales on Sunday. So if you got a business that's open on Sunday that you're sharing the building with your dealership, I would always recommend posting a sign that says no motor vehicle sales on Sunday. But if you're a trailer dealer or a power sport dealer or boat dealer, you can open on Sundays. However, remember, if you're selling motor vehicles, you've got to stay closed on Sundays. You cannot sell motor vehicles on Sundays. Okay, so do please keep that in mind. Here's the physical street address of your dealership, which cannot be a P.O. box. It cannot be a P.O. box. They want to know exactly where your dealership is located. So put the physical street address in there. And then you're going to enter who did your law enforcement certification. And then you're going to upload that file. And I'm going to show you that form. That form is called 5748. So I'm going to let you know about that form here in a little bit. In the past, we would just have the officer sign the back of a paper dealer application. Well, we're not using those anymore. So you're going to have this specific form so that law enforcement officer can show the state that you've got a building and a lot and a sign, and you'll upload that form, and we'll complete that in a moment together. You're going to enter your bond information. So put your bonding company, your policy number, the effective dates, and then you're going to upload a copy of that bond. And then you're going to do the same with your garage policy, which is your insurance. So sometimes they call it a dealer garage policy. Even if you don't have a garage, they'll call it your garage insurance. So you put your policy number there, the effective dates, and then you're going to upload usually just the first page, not the whole 100-page policy. Usually the first page is called your Accord form. So you can just upload the Accord form. And then you can upload those, and as you can see, that's what it's going to look like once you've got those uploads complete. And then hopefully you're taking your class by Missouri Dealer Seminars, and you'll put the date there. And then when you attend our course, you have that certificate of completion we give you at the end of the course, and you will have to upload that. And that's going to show the state that you have set through your mandated 4-hour pre-licensed dealer training course. Now you're going to enter each person whose name appears on the license. And I often get asked, in my classes, should I put my salesperson on my license? I recommend never putting a salesperson on a license. I recommend only putting your most trusted business associates. Maybe that's a spouse or longtime business partner, somebody you obviously trust. Okay, so make sure you trust the person on your license because you bear a lot of responsibility for their actions. Okay, so you're going to also submit that background check for each person whose name's on the license, and you can do that right here. You're going to have to upload that background check. If you have 2 persons on the license, you're submitting 2. If you're just the only person, then you'll just be submitting the 1 background check. Then you got to upload that photograph of the building, lot, and sign. So don't forget about this. Well, you can't forget about it because the great thing about the online dealer licensing application system for the Department of Revenue, it does not allow you to forget anything. So you have to upload all 6 of those documents before it will take your application. Click the review button and you can take a look at the application that you're getting ready to basically log onto the Jeff City computer. So you want to double check it, triple check it, make sure everything looks true, make sure everything looks accurate. And then you're going to have to agree to these terms and conditions. So when you do this, it is just like signing a document. So make sure and read those terms and agree. And then you have to click this little box here that says you're not some robot that's, stealing passwords from the state or something like that. And then you're automatically taken to the state secure payment portal where you can enter your credit card information as you see here. And then once you click that green pay button, then your dealer license will actually land on the Department of Revenue's computer in Jeff City, and maybe that's your initial application or your renewal application, and they're going to start processing that immediately. They try to get every dealer license back within 6 to 7 days. But be advised, now that we are doing this online, before applying for your dealer's license, you're going to need to complete DOR Form 5748 for the law enforcement certification. For the law enforcement certification, this is where the law enforcement officer signs to basically tell the state that you do have a building and a lot and a sign. So you do have to fill this out, and I'll show you this real quick. You want to make sure this matches the application that you just submitted online. So put your business name, what you're doing business as, contact, your Secretary of State number, your email address, the physical address, your telephone number, city, state, and zip code. Here's your mail forwarding section. If you want mail forwarded, you can certainly complete that. And down here is your hours of operation. So these hours that you complete here, they do have to match the hours you submitted online just a moment ago. And also it has to submit the hours that you have posted. So if you ever want to change your hours, you will definitely need to contact the dealer licensing section in Jeff City, and they will certainly change those hours for you. So hopefully you found this very advantageous and helpful when you are applying for your dealer's license. All dealer's licenses and renewals now must be submitted at mydmv.mo.gov. The Department of Revenue no longer accepts paper applications for a license. You must submit your application for your dealer's license and your dealer license renewal online at mydmv.mo.gov.